Hi guys, welcome to Winning Easy. My name's Wade, you should know that by now. My co-host Dan's unavailable this week. They give Dan a bit of, he's got a new job, so he's a very busy man the last week or so we wish Dan all the best and just settling in that. So hopefully put some tips up if he's got time, but I understand that he's very busy in the last week or two. So we'll be back as soon as we can, but for the time being, I'll hold the ship and try and tip some winners. Now, last week was Calandra Cup Day, and we tipped the winner of the feature in Amex at $26. I know a few of you were on him, followed my tip and lead, so it made it a very big winning day. After a few placings early in the day, we came home with a bang and we got the feature. So, like I said, it's been a really good month for Winning Easy. So, we know we can't win all the time. We've got to understand that when you're punting, and I totally understand that as well, and Dan does too. But you got to try and finish in front more than you lose. That's the name of punting, and I think we're achieving that since we've started Winning Easy last October. So let's hope we can keep that going, and hopefully it can lead Dan and I somewhere in the future of what our passion is, and hopefully take us somewhere further. But we love you guys following us, and we'll never forget all of our fans, that's for sure. Alright, before we get into the preview, this week we're going back down to Melbourne. We're previewing the Flemington card. It's Winter Finals Day. Great concept. Love these finals, with the highlight being the Winter Championship, won by many great horses over the years. It's a really good stepping stone for horses going forward in the spring, and a lot of these races are. So, love finals day. So if you're down in Melbourne, get down and support a great winners racing card. But before we get into it, we've got to talk about the big decision by the New South Wales government yesterday in shutting down greyhound racing. I'm a passionate greyhound racing fan, along with thoroughbreds and harness. Obviously thoroughbreds being my number one, but I'm a passionate greyhound supporter. Have many bets on the dogs, love it, just love watching them. They're a great animal, and I'm disgusted by this decision, as a lot of people involved in the industry are. To shut down a whole industry and make all these people out of the jobs is just, I just cannot believe it. It's a huge decision that they made. Obviously the live baiting thing was a dreadful thing, and I have no sympathy for anyone caught doing that. They should be going to jail. They should not just be getting fines. They should be doing serious jail time. But there are so many good people. It's like anything. The minority ruin it for the majority, and I'm disgusted by this decision. Now, we need to get this overturned. I believe there's a lot more to it. You know what I mean? We're talking about iconic tracks like Wentworth Park, Dapto Dogs, household Australian names they are, and I think there's a lot of money involved for some of these lands of these tracks, especially Wentworth Park. What that'd be worth would be an absolute fortune. So I think there's a lot more political to it, and I'm disgusted by it. And I think Mike Baird really should have hanged himself in shame. You know how he just kicks these people out of jobs, and I think at the next state election down there, everyone should show Mike Baird the door and show him what it's like to not have a job, because he's a disgrace what he done yesterday. That's not being a leader, being a premier and that. You should be working with the industry and making reforms, and not just having a simple solution of just shutting it down because it's in a too hard basket. Disgrace. And yeah, let's really get this going and get the support going and rally behind this decision. Now, I'm also very, very passionate about all three codes here. They need to get together, every single code around Australia, in each jurisdiction, and get together and support this. We've got to stop the infighting, we've got to stop the eagerness of thoroughbreds, harness, greyhound racing, the self-interest. We've all got to come together and support this, because this can be the start. If they get rid of greyhound racing, what's saying they won't get rid of harness racing and then thoroughbred racing? So we need to all stick together here. I believe the best way is, as I've said many times of the whip rules, is striking. You know, it's a simple solution to solve a lot of things, because at the end of the day, the amount of money and revenue loss of a single Saturday racing and wagering would significantly affect the government, and they would not make these decisions if they knew people were serious. So I'm calling for, hopefully, if peaceful talks that don't come to anything and change of heart, I'm calling for strike action for all three codes. Now, I'm calling out to Mr. John Massara here, the chairman of New South Wales Racing, and obviously the Australian Racing Board. Now, I know, obviously, racing, thoroughbred racing New South Wales and that are, sort of different entities to the ground racing New South Wales. But I'm calling on Mr. Massara to show passion and show unity with the ground racing people. This is, all three codes are one sport. We are all one sport. And like I said, people are going to be out of a job, and just the social fabric of what grain racing does. It's not a cruel sport. Let's get that fact. It's not a cruel sport. There are cruel people in the sport, and we need to get rid of those cruel ones. There's so many good people in the sport, and it's just so a shame. It's not a cruel sport for the animals, for the greyhounds. They are born to run. They are not a little dog, little chihuahua that sits on a lounge. They are born to run. They love it, and that's what they're meant to do. And they do make lovely pets, and all the rehoming programs and adoption programs, which each state has really stepped up in the last few years. That's sensational. We should be doing more of that. But they are born to race, and at the end of their racing careers, they do make lovely pets. Now, the amount of dogs that have been sadly deceased over the last 12 years, going by the statistics, which, if they are correct, I think they are a bit exaggerated, they're shocking. There's no doubt about it. They're shocking, and there needs to be tighter control of that. But the government should be blamed here, because at the day, the government should have cracked down on this. They should be doing independent things years ago. So I'm really hoping everyone get behind. There's petitions online, sign them, and let's not make this happen. July 1 next year, it's shutting down New South Wales, and I think it's the start of an Australian-wide thing. And I'm very happy with what the RSPCA and Animal Welfare League and other organisations do in supporting sickened animals and stuff. But their thoughts on ground racing, I have no respect for them, because they're just one-eyed. Seriously one-eyed, and some of the stats and things they say, like, now 180 dogs a year die or get injured during races all around in 1 year. How many dogs in the backyard run around the park, get attacked by other dogs or break a leg or fall? Seriously, stats can be looked in two ways, and anything to make the integrity of the sport better, I'm all for. But to shut down completely is an utter disgrace, and Mike Baird, you are a disgrace. Alright, so we'll get straight into Flemington. We'll go to Thoroughbreds and we'll enjoy a good day's racing. And the first race is the Silver Bowl final for the 3-year-old Colts and Geldings. I've got to go with the topic number 1, Gerald Deliri Letter, the Tasmanian. He is the Guineas and Derby winner early in the year. And he's had 2 runs back, one in his home state, and then he came across from a great 4th last start at Caulfield. Third up, this is his grand final. He's a quality horse. I know he's got 60, but he's, I think, on his exposed form better than these, like length better. He's beat subsequent Group 1 winner Howard by the Name in Tasmanian Derby. Third up over the mile, Adam Trinder, great trainer. I just think Barrier 2, he surely wins this at $5.50. So number 1 to beat number 2 War Legend, 3 and 9 for 4th. So 1, 2, 3, 9 in the first. Race 2 is the Rivette Series Finals. This is for the 3-year-old fillies over a mile. The tricky race is, but I've ended up going with, I just think, the best horse if she produces the best, and that's number 3, Payroll. Craigie Williams on. What can we say about this? Last prep, she ran second in 1,000 Guineas Prelude. Massive odds. I think she needs a few things to go away. She's a bit of a tricky filly, but the ability's there, and I'm going to trust that she's going to produce it on Saturday. So 3 to beat number 8 here, Reigning in Paris. Now, this is one of massive odds that I think will run one hell of a race, so make sure you put in your Quinellas and Trifectas. It's around the $41 mark at the moment, but I'm telling you, it's over the odds. Number 2, Daniela Rosa, and number 1, Euro Angel, who, in my opinion, is suicide odds at $1.70 at the moment. 2 from 3, and looks a very nice horse, but $1.70 I think is definitely just suicide odds, and I have to lay it. You know, we don't back odds on, but I definitely don't want to be taking $1.70 for this filly. Now she might come out and win, but that's not a punting proposition. I think she's a lay for sure. So I'm going to go number 3, Payroll, around the $6 mark there. Race 3, is the VRC CRV Cup Tour Trophy. It's a 2,000 metre race on the card. Tough race, really tough race, but I'm going with number 5, Nesbo. He's trained now by my favourite trainer, Mick Kent. Won impressively first up over the mile, coming from last. And then last start, yeah, he was disappointing. What can we say? But subsequently, he was found to be lame. So there's a valid reason. Third up, Mickey Kent now got him. I think he's always had the ability. He's always been a good horse. And maybe Mick can just fine tune him, and I think he'd be too good for these. You know, third up, I reckon, once again, ready to peak. A lot of these horses would have been set for Saturday's race card. So I expect number 5, Nesbo, to beat number 3, Sandhill Chiba. I love this horse. This horse is one that you'd love to own. These are the type of horse you want to own. You know, I should say. You know, we all like to own the Winkses and the Chautauquas and that. But if you get a horse like Sandhill Chief, who's 8-year-old, he's at 74 starts and he's earned 240,000 and just tries his heart out every single run, then you're having a lot of fun. So him in for second. Number 10, the Terrick for third. This is one of big odds I think don't leave out for your multiples. And number 2, Survive for fourth. 5, 3, 10, 2 there in the third. Race 4 is the Taj Rossi Finals. This is for the 2-year-olds over the mile. Listed event. Very tough race this, because you got a lot of queries here about how many of these 2-year-olds would run the mile. And in the end, I had to go one with number 3, Cliffhanger. Now, he's a hard horse to catch on his 4 runs so far. Ran a good race third on debut at the Warrnambool Cardinal. Then he was disappointed at Flemington. Then he won at Sale. And then he was only playing last time. But he got a nice finish on him when he's right. I think the mile he's got no worries about. He was impressive over the 1400 Sale. Barrier 3, Froggy Neurodon. I just think he's the one here, around the $12 mark. To beat number 1, Moshway, and he might be a question mark at the mile, but he's a good horse, this horse, and he's given an indication, I should say, that he'll get it, but on exposed form, I think Cliffhanger's got him covered. But at around the $20 mark, I think he's overs. Number 2, Trichet from the Godolphin stable. Probably with nearly start favourite. Be hard to beat. Beautifully bred. Nice winner last day with the 1400 Flemington. Beating a lot of these in this field. And number 10, for fourth, we have Cha Cheng from the Kieran Mar stable. I think this one's had the run over the mile. And I think that'll hold in good stead. That's a big advantage, I believe, in these type of races, having that run over the mile. So we're going to go number 3 to beat 1, 2, and 10. Race 5 is the All Victorian Series Sprint Final. Now, you've got a couple of horses at the top here on their best would win this, and then you've got a couple of up-and-comers down the bottom in the weights. So it's an intriguing race here, and I've settled on number 10 right down the bottom in Rutiga. Rutiga from the Freeman stable. Craig Williams on. His run last day was really nice. And once again, I think it was on the wrong part of the track last day, which there's a couple of races like that from last start with the form. So you've got to take that in consideration. I just think he's a nice up-and-coming horse. He's had 4 wins, 14 starts, 2 seconds, 4 thirds. He's honest. I just think he's a horse here that around the $5 mark each way. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't go close. To beat number 6, Magnus Rain, from the all-conquering Darren Weir stable. Darren's only 6.5 wins of breaking the Australasian record for most wins in a season. Be a magnificent record when he does beat it. Obviously, it's a formality, you would think, with still 20 days of the racing season to go. But I think he's one of the big odds that you must include. Number 8, King of Anne, will be hard to beat. Stephen Brownkey does a good job with his horses. Very, very talented trainer. And number 2, Alberto Magic. This is a Group 3 winner. Now with the Mick Price stable, so if he runs his best, he'll probably nearly win it. But I'm going to go number 10, the up-and-coming here. He might be a horse going places in the future. Race 6 is the B&J Patterson Series Final. It's over the 2,600 metres, so we've got the stayers running. Not the best field assembled, and there's some very short odds. So I had to look for value, and I'm tipping actually number 7 Wells here, who's now having a career over the jumps. But his last start run on the flat was really, really good at 100 to 1. And he ran a great race. And he really, really hit the line hard. I mean, like, you wouldn't know he's jumping. But sometimes those few races over the jumps, when they come back to the flat, they can get a new lease of life. So I'm hoping with Craigie on board, they're riding cold to run over the top of them, I'm thinking. And at the value, at around $13, I think he's a nice each-way bet. To beat number 2 Master of Arts, he's a nice horse. He's the Warrnambool Cup winner. He's obviously the one to beat, but he's short enough for me. Same with Rowdo Jr. and Bold Sniper, the Queen's horse, who have got him for 4. They're very short odds. I don't see any value in them at all. And those two in particular, Rowdo Jr. and Bold Sniper, they seem like a lot of things have to go right in their day. So, you know, I'm going to go to Wells. He's nice and rock hard fit, and with Craigie on, if he runs up to his last start run, he'll be right on the finish. So 7, 2, 3, 1 there for me. The feature of the day is race 7. That's the Winter Championship Series final. Obviously, we've had the Winter Championship heats at a few venues, Flemington and stuff and like that. Good race, big field at the mile. I'm going for value. I think it's a race I want to look for value. And over the years, you've had to look for value in this race. I'm going number 12. It's the Brins from the Corson stable with the Gauchon. Now he ran last day in the Swan Hill Cup. He only got beat 3 lengths, but he was very wide in the run. He won during the Flemington Carnival last year over this course and distance. He ran a really good race at Flemington to start before that. So I'm just tipping that this horse runs his best. I think at $20 he's way over the odds. So I'm going to take a punt that he's the one to beat here at the odds. To beat number 3 Chance to Dance. Now this horse I've always had a bit of time for. Be interesting to see what they do. Like, he's obviously been set for this mile race. He's got Craigie on. He's right in the market. He's running really good races. But it'll be interesting to see if he's a genuine stayer or if they're going to keep him to around the mile 2,000 metres maximum. What Lloyd decides to do. But, you know, I'll say this has been his target for this campaign. So he'll be very hard to beat. Number 6 in Rhythm to Spare. Another horse with plenty of ability. But, geez, you know, he's hard horse to catch sometimes, but I just got a feeling that he might be able to produce on Saturday. Once again, getting back to Flemington, it's a big thing with this horse, in my opinion. At number 2, Kenja. If you've been following Winning Easy over the last sort of 6 to 9 months, you would have heard me mention this horse many times. We tipped him one day when he won at nice $12 when he was trained by Peter Moody. Now he's trained by Daniel Weir. He's a 6-year-old. I've been following this horse since he made his debut in a 2-year-old in Tasmania. Backed him in his second start of the race, and he ran second for me, I'm pretty sure, and I always thought he was just good horse from that run onwards, and he's proven that. He never runs a bad race and tries his heart out, so he'll be in for 4. But I'm going number 12 as a Brins. I think he's good, each way odds there, $20. Race 8 is the AR Creswick Series final for the 3-year-olds up the straight over 1,200 metres. Once again, I found one here of value, I think, and let's hope the track plays fair, inside and outside. You know, it's always a bit of a worry when they've got the straight races, but I'm going to take the punt that it will play fair, being such a big day, and they do a great job down there, all the Fleming staff and Mick Goody, the track manager. I'm going to go number 8, Chase the Horizon. Yeah, nice horse this. He's got a good little record, 2 wins for 9 starts and 4 other placings, and he won at Ballarat 3 starts ago. Then he said the 2 runs at Flemington, and they've been good runs in my opinion. Last start he got beat by a very promising Speed. And I just think that if you go to that last prep, he was running behind horses like Golden Spin and that. I just got a feeling that around the $18, he's worth a small bet for sure. Number 5, Nat's the Boss for 2nd. 4, Suberg for 3rd. Well, he's since he came to Darren Weir, he's found a new sort of lease of life. He really savaged the line. And we know Darren can keep his horse up for a while. And number 2, Prince of Brooklyn, 2nd up. Yeah, really nice first up run, and he's very, very hard to beat as well. But I'm going to go to value. Chase the Horizon, $18. That's what we love here, and that's what I love in particular. So we'll go with number 8. The last Leilani Series final is for over the 1,400, and it's for the mares. Hard race. Some of these aren't really in form, and that's always a worry with mares races. I've ended up settling on number 2, Vibrant Rouge, and this mare's always had plenty of ability, and once again now she has been transferred to Mick Kemp. Once again, Mick might just be able to rejuvenate this mare. She was going for a bit of a sort of stalemate, and I wondered if she wanted to become a broodmare, but I think she'll go to the breeding barn this season, so I think she's only got a couple of runs left, and I think they're trying to get another city win in her before she goes. Good prize money. And her first up run at Mooney Valley was really nice, and the last out of Caulfield, it was a nice run as well. And I think once again, this horse is third up. I think a lot of these are going to be peaking third up here, and I just think that she produces her best. Bit of a tricky alley, barrier 11, but if she's clean in the right in the race, she's got 60 kilos. This can compress all the other weights down. So she carried 56.5 last start. She drops 2 kilos. She should be carrying a lot more than that, but because of the weight scale, she's just only half a kilo above the limit. So perfectly weighted. So I go Vibrant Rouge to beat number 9. To be honest, I think there's a couple of John Salinitri's horses throughout the day that'll run really good races. I think this is one. Number 1, She's Clean. She's the best horse in the race. Nice run last start against the males. And number 6, Nadeem Lass. Doesn't have a great winning record. Doesn't mind running second or third, but never runs a bad race, and the ability's there. So I put her in for 4 because she's that type of horse. Alright, so that's the Flemington card preview. Now we've got to try and find a roughie and the best bet of the day. Well, the best bet of the day, we'll go to the roughie first. That's in the Winter Championship final. We'll go race 7, number 12 is the Brins, around the $20 mark. I think this horse is over the odds. Always had the ability. I think if it produces, it will give you one hell of a race on Saturday. Best bet, we're going to start early. The last few weeks have been later in the day. You had to be patient, but we're going to go number 1, race 1, Gerald E. Letter, $5.50 each way mile. But I just think we'll win. I just think we've got too much class for these, and there might be a horse even going places in the spring and that. $5.50. I think it will even start shorter, so you might even want to take the $5.50 right now while you can. So thanks guys for your support. That's the Flemington card winning its finals day. I hope we get plenty of winners again and keep this great role that Winning Easy has been on. Let's see, hopefully Dan and I will be back together to do some shows. It's coming up to a bit of a quiet period in the year with winter. But before we know it, end of August, we'll have the Golden Rose and all the spring horses are back in work at the moment, so it's not too long before all the big races come around quickly enough. So thanks guys, all the best, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.